have downloaded archive with the Lord of Nodes, and now to install it, I go to my user directory. Here I have to create .nuke folder, and also I would like to make next structure. For example, I would like to make a Python folder that will contain all my plugins, and all I have to do is just drag and drop this Lord of Nodes folder here. Then I have to create init.py file. Okay, I'll copy this text. In the init.py, I have to import nuke, and then from a nuke, plugin and path, and here I have to set relative path to my folder. Python vp Lord of Nodes. Okay, that's it. And now let's start nuke. So here you can see Lord of Nodes menu. And let's start with creating hotkey. For example, I want on a Shift+B appear this preset. All I have to do is just let me just close properties. All I have to do is create hotkey. Here I have to set my input and output node. For example, blur will be my input and output. Preset name will be blur rota. Shift+B as a hotkey. Okay, I just click create. And now when I press Shift+B, you see my preset appears. Okay, now if I want to modify it, I can use the menu hotkey. In the menu hotkey, you will see all your presets. Here you can edit some parameters of your preset, or you can delete it. Also, you have a node graph hotkey menu. Here you can modify preset. For example, I want blur to be as a default 2, and here I want to be value size. I see value size. Okay. And now I have to save it. Again, choose input, output, blur, and save. Okay, and now when I create Shift+B, you see blur with the new values appears. Okay, let's close node graph. Okay. Now we talk about some more advanced functions. For example, on a Shift+T, I want to create transform masket plus rota. I just create hotkey, transform masket rota, Shift+T. Okay, that's it. And you see it works. And you have to understand that some nodes in the nuke are context sensitive. For example, when I create just a transform, you see the center parameter may be changed. It's not like a default value. For example, if I here change for a HD and create transform, you see the difference in the center knobs. So to control it with the Lord of Nodes, you have to use advanced tab, and here context sensitive for example, transform by default checks in a context sensitive, and you see when I create transform masket plus rota, here's the center parameters changes if I, for example, change in rooted. Yeah, you see the difference. And also context sensitive if you create in a branch. For example, if I create a reformat node with some other format, and here I create transform, you see that width and height took for the input nodes. Okay, so that's how you can control context sensitive for some nodes. Here you can see the list of all supported nodes of this version. Okay, go further. For example, when I create on a B blur, I want it to be with value 16. I don't know why. Here again, value size, and also I would like it to be only RGB, but or no, only alpha. Okay, that's better. And if I want to store these parameters, all I have to do is just click Set Knop Default. Okay, and now when I create blur, you see it takes all the values that I changed. If I want to delete it, I just click Remove Knop Default. But you can see if I just create Shift plus B, my blur here in my properties doesn't change. So what to focus on is that in the preset parameters, in advanced tab, I have a other parameter. It's a knop default, and here I can check up blur and just save it. And now when I create Shift plus B, blur will take my knop default parameters. That's how you can control it. For example, if you want to be on a B, this one, on a Shift plus B, the other one, not knop default parameters, you can just modify it using menu. Also, for all the knobs, you have a tooltips to see the description to better understand the logic of Lord of Nodes. Okay, that's it. I think it's a very simple but very powerful instrument to manage all of your nodes inside Nuke. Also, you have a update, and when I click it, you see I have the latest version. But for example, let's change it. If I here change my version, for example, to 1.0, and again check for updates, you see the other message appears that I have a new version. Okay, and just I click update, and I have to wait a few seconds.
A few moments later.
Okay, it maybe not works for the first time, but now it should. Yeah. Okay, update finished successfully. Here is what was new, and also we can restart Nuke. For example, I click OK. Now I don't need to save changes. Okay, and when I check now, I have the latest version of this instrument. Okay, that's it. Hope you enjoyed.